Welcome back on Cosmos Convention. Here we are going to start our second part of Introduction to General Equilibrium, that is complete markets. But just before, for upcoming lectures, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. Let's start from the introduction of complete markets in general equilibrium. Complete markets are a theoretical construct used to analyze the efficiency and welfare properties of competitive economies. The theory of complete markets is a central part of modern economic theory, and it has important implications for the design of economic policies. The concept of complete markets: in a complete market, there exist markets for all possible contingent claims. A contingent claim is a contract that pays off a specific amount of money if a specific event occurs. For example, a contract may pay off $100 if it rains tomorrow, or $0 if it does not rain. A market for a contingent claim is a place where these contracts can be traded. Example of complete market is: let's say that you purchase a call option on M/S BATA stock with a strike price of 50 rupees and an expiration date of June 30th, and each option contract represents 100 shares. If the price of the company stock increases to 60 rupees by June 30th, you can exercise your option and buy 100 shares of the stock for 50 rupees each, even though the market price is Rs. 0.60. You can then sell the shares on the open market for a profit of Rs. 0.10 per share. However, if the price of the stock stays below 50 rupees or decreases by the expiration date, you would not exercise your option, and your loss would be limited to the premium you paid for the option. In this example, the payout of the option is contingent on the price of the underlying asset, the stock, reaching a certain level by a specified date. This is an example of a contingent claim. Complete markets. Example 2 of a contingent claim in the goods market: let's say that a farmer grows wheat and sells it to a bakery. The bakery needs wheat to make bread, but the price of wheat is subject to fluctuation due to weather conditions, crop yields, and other factors. To hedge against price fluctuations, the farmer and the bakery could enter into a futures contract. The futures contract would specify a price for a certain amount of wheat to be delivered at a specified future date. Complete markets. For example, the farmer and the bakery could enter into a futures contract for 1,000 bushels of wheat to be delivered in 6 months at a price of $5 per bushel. If the price of wheat increases to $6 per bushel by the delivery date, the bakery would have locked in a lower price and would save money compared to buying wheat on the open market. On the other hand, if the price of wheat decreases to $4 per bushel by the delivery date, the farmer would have locked in a higher price and would earn more money compared to selling wheat on the open market. In this example, the payout of the futures contract is contingent on the price of wheat at the time of delivery. This is an example of a contingent claim in the goods market. Complete markets refer to a situation in which all possible financial instruments necessary to insure against every possible outcome are available. In other words, it is a market in which every possible state of the world is insured against by at least one financial instrument. For example, if there are two possible outcomes, good and bad, then there must be financial instruments that pay off in both states of the world. Similarly, if there are n possible outcomes, then there must be n different financial instruments available. Complete market assumptions. The existence of complete markets has important implications for the economy. In particular, in a world of complete markets, all risks can be insured against. There are no arbitrage opportunities. The law of one price holds. Prices reveal all relevant information. Examples of complete markets: the Arrow-Debreu Model, the Radnor Model, the Lucas Model. The role of complete markets in general equilibrium analysis. In general equilibrium analysis, the assumption of complete markets is necessary for several reasons. All risks can be insured against. In a world of complete markets, all risks can be insured against, which means that individuals and firms can fully protect themselves against the uncertainties of the future. This allows them to make efficient decisions based on their preferences and the information available to them. No arbitrage opportunities. In a world of complete markets, there are no arbitrage opportunities, advantage of price difference, because all possible combinations of financial assets can be replicated by other combinations of financial assets. This ensures that prices are determined by the fundamentals of the economy, rather than by speculation or manipulation. The law of one price holds. In a world of complete markets, the law of one price holds, which means that identical goods and services trade at the same price in different markets. This ensures that resources are allocated efficiently across the economy. Prices reveal all relevant information. In a world of complete markets, prices reflect all relevant information about the economy because individuals and firms can use financial markets to hedge their risks and trade based on their expectations of future events. This allows prices to provide signals about the scarcity of resources and the opportunities for investment. Theorems as examples of complete markets. The first fundamental theorem of welfare economics states that any competitive equilibrium is Pareto efficient. A competitive equilibrium is a set of prices and allocations such that all markets clear and agents maximize their utility subject to their budget constraints. Pareto efficiency means that there is no other allocation that makes at least one agent better off without making any other agent worse off. Theorems as examples of complete markets. The second fundamental theorem of welfare economics states that any Pareto-efficient allocation can be achieved by a suitable redistribution of initial endowments followed by a competitive equilibrium. This theorem implies that the market system can achieve any desirable allocation by using appropriate taxes and subsidies. The Arrow-Debreu Model as an example of complete markets. The Arrow-Debreu Model is a formal model of a complete market economy. In this model, there is a fixed number of agents, each of whom has a specific endowment of goods. There is a complete set of markets for all possible contingent claims, and agents can trade these claims. The equilibrium of this model is Pareto efficient, and any Pareto efficient allocation can be achieved through a competitive equilibrium. Applications of complete markets. Complete markets have important implications for many areas of economics, including finance, macroeconomics, and public economics. In finance, complete markets provide a theoretical foundation for pricing financial assets, such as stocks and bonds. In macroeconomics, complete markets are used to analyze the effects of government policies, such as taxes and subsidies. In public economics, complete markets are used to design efficient systems of taxation and social insurance. Conclusion of complete markets. In general equilibrium analysis, the assumption of complete markets allows economists to study the interactions between different markets and the implications of policy changes for the economy as a whole. However, it is important to recognize that complete markets may not hold in the real world, and that there may be factors that limit the availability of financial instruments and the ability of individuals and firms to fully protect themselves against risk. As a result, economists must be careful when using the assumptions of complete markets to make policy recommendations or draw conclusions about the economy. For more information, here we need to discuss the contingencies. A contingency is a potentially negative event that may occur in the future, such as an economic recession, natural disaster, or fraudulent activity. Companies and investors plan for various contingencies through analysis and implementing protective measures. A thorough contingency plan minimizes loss and damage caused by an unforeseen negative event. Contingency plans can include the purchase of options or insurance for investment portfolios. Banks must set aside a percentage of capital for negative contingencies, such as a recession, to protect the bank against losses. Types of contingency plans. Contingency plans are utilized by corporations, governments, investors, and by central banks, such as the federal contingencies, can involve real estate transactions, commodities, investments, currency exchange rates, and geopolitical risks. Protecting assets contingencies might also include contingent assets, which are benefits, rather than losses, that accrue to a company or individual given the resolution of some uncertain event in the future. A favorable ruling in a lawsuit or an inheritance would be an example of contingent assets. Contingency plans might involve purchasing insurance policies that pay cash or a benefit if a particular contingency occurs. For example, property insurance might be purchased to protect against fire or wind damage. Investment positions: investors protect themselves from contingencies that could lead to financial losses related to investing. Investors might employ various hedging strategies such as stop-loss orders, which exit a position at a specific price level. Hedging can also involve using options strategies, which is akin to buying insurance, whereby the strategies earn money as an investment position loses money from a negative event. The money earned from the options strategy completely or partially offsets the losses from the investment. However, these strategies come at a cost, usually in the form of a premium, which is an upfront cash payment. Investors also employ asset diversification, which is the process of investing in various different types of investments. Asset diversification helps to minimize risk if one asset class, such as stocks, declines in value. Business continuity and recovery: as part of a contingency plan for disasters, such as a pandemic, companies need to plan ahead to ensure that the business can operate during and after an event. This type of contingency plan is often called a business continuity plan, BCP, or a business recovery plan. Typically, a business continuity team is formed to plan for any possible contingencies and manage the continuity and recovery plan during a disruption. Businesses need to identify their critical business functions and perform an analysis of how an event might impact the company's operations and processes. The contingency plan would include implementing the recovery of critical business functions such as systems, production, and employee access to technology such as computers. For example, a contingency plan for a pandemic would include developing a remote work strategy to help prevent the spread of disease and to provide employees with secure access to their work. As a result, companies would need to invest in technology, which could include providing laptops and video conferencing access to employees, creating cloud-based data storage, and facilitating access to company-wide communications such as email and internal data. Cybersecurity: with any type of disaster, cybercriminals often try to take advantage of a crisis to hack into a company's systems and steal data or disrupt business operations. Contingency plans are used to outline the procedures for cybersecurity teams to protect an organization from threats and malicious attacks. Special considerations: a contingency plan should also prepare for the loss of intellectual property through theft or destruction. As a result, backups of critical files and computer programs, as well as key company patents, should be maintained in a secure off-site location. Contingency plans need to prepare for the possibility of operational mishaps, theft, and fraud. A company should have an emergency public relations response relating to possible events that have the ability to severely damage the company's reputation and its ability to conduct business. How a company is reorganized after a negative event should be included in a contingency plan. It should have procedures outlining what needs to be done to return the company to normal operations and limit any further damage from the event. For example, financial services firm Cantor Fitzgerald was able to resume operation in just 2 days after being crippled by the 9/11 terrorist attacks due to having a comprehensive contingency plan in place. Complete markets in economics: a complete market, aka Arrow-Debreu market or complete system of markets, is a market with 2 conditions: negligible transaction costs and therefore also perfect information. Every asset in every possible state of the world has a price. In such a market, the complete set of possible bets on future states of the world can be constructed with existing assets without friction. Here, goods are state contingent, that is, a good includes the time and state of the world in which it is consumed. For instance, An umbrella tomorrow if it rains is a distinct good from an umbrella tomorrow if it is clear. The study of complete markets is central to state preference theory. The theory can be traced to the work of Kenneth Arrow, 1964, Arrow-Debreu, 1959, Arrow and Debreu, 1954, and Lionel Mackenzie, 1954. Arrow and Debreu were awarded the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economics, Arrow in 1972, Debreu in 1983, largely for their work in developing the theory of complete markets and applying it to the problem of general equilibrium. A state of the world is a complete specification of the values of all relevant variables over the relevant time horizon. A state contingent claim, or state claim, is a contract whose future payoffs depend on future states of the world. For example, suppose you can bet on the outcome of a coin toss. If you guess the outcome correctly, you will win $1, and otherwise you will lose $1. A bet on heads is a state claim, with payoff of $1 if heads is the outcome, and payoff of -$1 if tails is the outcome. Heads and tails are the states of the world in this example. A state contingent claim can be represented as a payoff vector with one element for each state of the world, e.g., payoff if heads, payoff if tails. So a bet on heads can be represented as $1 minus $1, and a bet on tails can be represented as minus $1, $1. Notice that by placing one bet on heads and one bet on tails, you have a state contingent claim of $0, $0. That is, the payoff is the same regardless of which state of the world occurs.